Hey dog people, if you're a professional dog trainer or dog business owner, you're probably exhausted. Because if you're anything like me, you're doing all the things to keep your business running. And one of the biggest strains is wondering where your clients are going to come from this week, or next month. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what social media does for my business. But when my business 100% depends on such an active strategy, I burn out fast. I want to help you create sustainability in your business and maybe even have time to get back to the life part of work-life balance. In my free marketing masterclass for dog business owners, I'm lifting up the hood and showing you the exact lead generation system I use in my business. Grab a notebook, trust me, and head on over to www.freedbytraining.com/unleash or click the link in the show notes and I'll teach you how to implement organic marketing strategy in your dog business. Welcome to Dog Training Bytes, the show where canine professionals share their key takeaways, big aha moments, and hardest lessons learned from working with dogs. I'm Mattison, certified dog trainer and behavior consultant, and dogs are my life. Every day I get to coach guardians and other trainers into a deeper understanding of canine behavior. But let's face it, sometimes dog training really bites. And that's okay, because when it does, we learn a lot. This podcast is all about sharing the lessons learned from experience, because the stories of when it got tough or when we made a mistake, that's when we learn the lessons worth learning. And it's time we share those with the world. I'll be talking to dog trainers and other pet professionals about times that working with dogs, well, bit. Not literally. Maybe literally. What's most important here on this show, what did they walk away with? What did they learn? How did it shape their approach today? Welcome to Dog Training Bytes, the show where pet professionals share personal lessons that you won't find in any textbook. Today, I'm speaking with Toby Craze. Toby started his animal behavior career working with rescue elephants and village dogs in Thailand. He worked as an adoption coordinator, manager, and head trainer, helping to rescue and rehabilitate Romanian street dogs. This year, Toby launched his own dog training and behavior business, Craze Dog Training, and he works with people and their dogs virtually worldwide. He specializes in dogs who are transported overseas and all that comes along with that. And he may just have a very big and exciting life/career announcement to share with us today. Hi, Toby. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's absolutely awesome to be on this show. I've been looking forward to it for a while now. So yeah, I do have an important announcement to make. When should I make that? Do you want to drop it now?
Drop the bomb.
I'll drop it now. So the big announcement is actually that I'm leaving the UK. I'm going to move to Thailand, south of Thailand, on a nice little island. My partner is a dog trainer as well, and she's just landed herself a job as a head trainer in a street dog rehabilitation program. It's absolutely fantastic. They do like in situ education. They do lots of catch and release and all sorts of stuff alongside rehoming to different parts of the world as well. So I'm looking forward to still being able to do my stuff, but also get involved with the local community, get involved hands-on with rescue again, and proper like in the proper nitty-gritty stuff as well. You're talking like the dogs that have been unfortunately like hit by cars and all sorts of things like that. Getting really involved in that's going to be something that's going to be quite new for me. So yeah, it's really exciting. And about 4 weeks to go until we're on that plane.
Oh my gosh, that is a quick turnaround. But in a lot of ways, this must feel like going back to your roots a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it really does. I've always been saying to my partner, Lauren, I bore her, chat her ear off all the time talking about Thailand. And it's going to be crazy for me because I used to be in the north of Thailand. This time I'll be in the south. So some changes for me as well. I've still got friends that are on that side of the world from when I used to live there. So yeah, I'm just so excited. Like life could not be better right now.
Yeah. And just what an adventure it's going to be. And I just love that we have created some flexibility in our lives and the delivery with which we are working with clients to where we can just up and move and go where we're needed and where our heart's pulling us.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel so blessed because I started my business at the beginning of this year, started with lots of in-person, a little bit of online, and then throughout the year transitioned to online, which suits me so well, and especially the dogs that I work with as well, being mostly street dogs. They definitely don't want some random guy turning up to their home. So that's just given me ultimate freedom. And now, it's like I said, like when Lauren saw the job, I was like, look, apply for it. Just do it. And I was like, I will make it work on my end. Like, I'll just up and relocate. Let's just go for it. Like, what's holding us back? So yeah, very blessed and fortunate to be in this position. That's for sure.
Oh, it's such a cool opportunity, and it's going to be such an epic adventure for you too. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to follow along. So, can you tell the dog people out there about your personal dog or dogs?
Yeah, so this is actually a strange one because I'm like a dog trainer that doesn't actually have a dog. I have dogs. So I have my family dog, George, who is a lockdown dog who we got before I started working professionally in my career. And probably he did like loads of things wrong with him. He lives an absolutely fantastic life. He lives in a very nice place in the UK where he gets to run free like every day. He has a very great life. My family are amazing, but there was definitely things that I just did not do right when I was had him as a puppy. That's for sure.
Listen, we all have that dog. Like my senior family dog, I'm like, ooh, I can
Yeah.
pinpoint a lot of those mistakes early on.
Oh, absolutely. Ever since I've been back after working with dogs now professionally, I just look at him and I go, "Oh man,
I'm
what did
sorry. I'm sorry, dude.
what did I do, man? I can't believe this." But no, he's absolutely fantastic. I love him. And then we have Lauren's family dog, who is Nova, who Nova makes an appearance quite a lot on my Instagram because Nova is like the perfect stooge dog because she's a Ukrainian street dog. So her communication repertoire is just absolutely fantastic. I've used her with my clients, my in-person clients, to really bring other street dogs out of their shells. So she
Yeah.
is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, she lives with Lauren's family. So we don't actually have any personal dogs like in the home, but because we've both always worked in rescue and I've moved around a lot as well, I've always felt that the dogs that are in my care have always been like my dogs. Like I was before my business, I was in rescue for 4 years every day in, day out with between 30 to 35 dogs all the time. And that was enough for me to have these were like my dogs. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've always felt incredibly fulfilled. And yeah, I always knew that I was going to be probably like leaving the country at some point. So to do that to a dog wouldn't really be fair. So yeah, no personal dog, but in the future, 10 million percent. But now on our new journey, we're going to have lots of other dogs that we're probably going to call our own from time to time. We're going to do lots of fostering as well, getting
Yeah.
used to doing like home training and stuff like that. So we're going to have a rotation of dogs that will be very special to us.
Yeah. It does open you up to the ability to bring in client dogs to help serve your clients in that way or foster. I did think that you were saying one day 100 million dogs, not 100 million%. Okay, slow down there. Slow down there.
So just a hoarder.
That's like the ongoing dog trainer joke is like, if I get rich one day, nobody will know, but there will be signs surrounded by thousands of dogs.
Literally, no, that would just be, yeah, God, imagine it. Imagine it. I feel like I've had that quite a bit though from being in rescues. I feel like I've always been surrounded by dogs in
Yeah,
different situations. So
it's true. You've already got that.
yeah.
All right, Toby, what is the story that you brought for us today?
Yeah, so I have an interesting story from rescue. Definitely going to be always be from rescue, and that was a dog that I worked with before I had really gained loads of formal experience and gone through certification routes and education and things like that. When I first started working in rescue, that was my first real career step to working with dogs professionally, and it was all the street dogs. It was all the street dogs, like you did in my intro there. It was all street dogs. But what happened is when I was first working there, we had lots of dogs that came from our partner shelter they were handpicked for us. So they had good temperaments. They were basically rehomable. They just needed like maybe specialist medical care, extra assessments and things like that. So, yeah, they still had some street dog tendencies, but not on the extreme end. And then over lockdowns and with Brexit, the transport stopped. And we had loads of people reaching out to us that were relinquishing their street dogs, didn't have any rescue backup or anything like that. That's a whole topic entirely. But yeah, so we had this dog called Eric, and Eric has been in his home happily for 3 years now. And I'm actually going to look after him in a couple of weeks. He'll probably be one of the last dogs I see before I leave the country.
Oh,
So I still have a very good relationship with his mum and with him. So I'll be going to see him. And he came in, he had previous trauma from dogs. He has a wound on his lip where he's definitely been attacked by another dog. So very reactive towards dogs. And his reactivity is something that I had never encountered when I was first in rescue because he was a redirector. And I'll never forget, I was just walking him like as we did, and he just turned and just bit my leg a couple times on sight of seeing like horses, dogs, like all
I
sorts
can't
of
get to
things.
that, but here's this.
Oh yeah, and it was just like slow motion. I was just like, oh, wow, just bit me on
Yeah.
the leg a couple of times there. So yeah, so we had Eric, and rescue when I first went there, it was a balance trainer that was doing most of the stuff, and not even a very good one. It was very much like whenever he came to the shelter, it was like, okay, bring the dogs out. Don't even know any history about them, nothing like that. Just bring them out. Tell me what it is. We'll walk around in a circle in an enclosed area, and they just shut down. So for me, I was like, okay, that must be how you work with dogs. It doesn't feel right, but it must be. So I used the same stuff on Eric. I had the slip lead on. I had a figure of 8 on him as well. And oh my God, he was just getting so reactive. He was getting even more reactive. And I was like, this isn't right. I don't feel like this is right. Let me go do my research. So I went and did my research, got into all the podcasts, did all the reading, everything like that, used my previous knowledge of animal behavior like I did in uni. I was like, okay, this feels better. And then I saw some progress and I was like, wow, okay, this is working. This is fantastic. This is perfect. Then I applied that to other dogs in my care. And I was like, okay, this is working with them as well. And then I just went further and further down the rabbit hole, applying these techniques to the dogs, seeing results. And what was hard for me and why the story was difficult was because I was in a place where I was still relatively new. Everyone else had been there for a while. They'd had this same trainer for a while. It was all like, this is the way. So for me, I was kind of pushing back against that. And then I received pushback myself. Why are you trying to do this? Who do you think you are? Like, you're not like a dog trainer, like you're new to this. So it was, yes. But like seeing Eric's progress, it was just like, wow, I just got so hooked. And then I was just like, every day, walks, podcasts, research, got my certification, continued to expand, connect with people. And it was really eye-opening for me. And I just went through that transition really quick, really at the start of my career. So I'm so thankful to Eric for showing me the way, because he was an absolutely awesome dog. He still is. And his mom still does the same techniques with him. His reactivity is way, way better. He gets to hang out with loads of dogs that he considers in his inner circle. And yeah, it was just a really beautiful kind of transition for me to also be the one to adopt him out as well and run through it with his mum. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's my story of my dog stuff.
So this was in in the shelter setting, right?
Yeah.
He was still okay. And what was the physical setup like of the shelter? Because I feel like they're very different and we're in different parts of the world. So I'm curious and where was this region-wise?
Region-wise, so it was in Essex. So it's in Essex. The rescue was actually like the rescue was nice. Like we had great facilities. Like the setup was like not dogs like opposite each other in their kennels. It was like one straight bay, then 2 other straight bays. They were never opposite each other, but they still have to walk past as it is. What was the hard part was because we were in such a good location, lovely fishing lake behind us, kind of stuff that the dogs could get acclimatized to without being thrown in the deep end. But where the struggle was when it came to reactive dogs is that we were not the only rescue in that area. So across the car park, there was another rescue. So you can imagine dogs coming out after being in kennels, stressed, head-on, confrontational, looking at each other. Sometimes you'd walk outside the gate and the dog would be triggered in like 10 seconds by 4 different things. So it was hard in that sense. And that's where I felt like it really developed my skill set, though, because I was working in definitely imperfect situations like all the time. I knew that when I was stepped outside that gate, it was a solid gate, so no one could look in. But it also meant that I couldn't look out. So I had to develop loads of like management skills, but also being able to train on the go and under pressure, like having to navigate situations where I could swap between management to different methods, all in the blink of an eye. And it really did up my skill set. So even though I was thrown in the deep end and it was like baptism by fire for getting into a career with dogs, it was really beneficial for me. But yeah, like it was a shame because the location was fantastic. We had an enclosed field, everything like that. But getting to the enclosed field, even though it was just like a 5-10 minute walk, if that.
It was a gauntlet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I get it. So was there I don't know, like a moment that you remember thinking, this is working, where you saw a change in, it was Eric, right?
Yeah, Eric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just when I swapped from ultimate, like it was like all restraint. Like whenever he'd go out, like we go outside, so he had a slip lead on, his figure of 8 lead. It was all for like, oh, he can't redirect on me if I'm holding him on a lead about this long and it's around his muzzle and it's held like this out to the side of me. And I was just a dog. I just tense up, hold my arm outright so he couldn't get to me. And if he reacted, I just react for it. And now I'm safe. So it took the thing off me. It just felt really shitty to me. And I just felt really bad every time I was walking him. And then when I learned markers and pairing at the right time, that's when, because he was super smart, he was super intelligent, like he had loads of normal cues down, like sits, paws, lie down, spins, roll, like he could do
Yeah.
so much stuff. He was incredibly intelligent. So when I moved on to, it was a great dog to learn with, because when it came on to like counter conditioning and mark and reward for when he was looking at the triggers, I was just like blown away by just seeing his brain start working and the cogs start turning. And that's what I absolutely loved about it. And also I felt great. Like I was like, I'm not doing anything to him that's stressing him out. He's not getting so over the top. He's not thrashing. And he's a big dog as well. So like so it would look like quite a scene.
Yeah.
So just like seeing that work was like the magic for me. And that's the magic now that I love putting onto my clients. So when my clients message me and they say, I can see my dog thinking about, and then I saw them turn around to me and I'm like, yes, like that is the magic moment. And then they just fall in love with the process. And because that's exactly what happened to me. Like when I saw, and also I just thought it was so awesome. I was like, this is a different species. And by using these good associations, these good experiences, and by using something to bridge the gap for a marker word, a clicker, when I found out clicker training, I was just amazed. I was just like, wow, this is insane. I'm literally communicating to another species how to change their emotional response towards something else that's previously drove them absolutely nuts because they were so anxious and fearful of it. And I just thought, wow, what a life. Magic.
It feels magical. It does. It feels, which like I struggle with that because the last thing that I want to do is truly make it seem magical because I want people to know that anyone can do this. And I'm
Yeah.
not special. I'm not
Yeah.
really all that great. Anybody can learn what I learned and create that change and what you learn and create that change in their dog. And I
Yeah.
think your style of training, which is very similar to my style of training,
Yeah.
is really about empowering the human in the human dog
Yeah.
partnership to just learn a little bit and just become somebody who can communicate with a different species, because when you strip a lot away, that's really what it is. You were identifying channels of communication, strengthening them because they were already there, right? It sounds like with
Yeah.
Eric, he already had that, like he was willing to communicate, which is that's a step already knocked out. Some dogs it takes a
Yeah.
while to even get there, especially
Yeah.
the really shut down dogs. So I'm curious if you were to bump into somebody who is, whether they're a like staff member in a
Mhm.
shelter or just a volunteer, and they have a dog and they're working on, not, they don't have a dog, they're working with a dog in that setting, and something about the approaches that they're being shown are just like not personally resonating with them, or they're not seeing that it's working for that dog. What would you suggest to that person? Because it's tricky, right? It can be really tricky if this is how we do it. And who do you
Yeah.
think you are? So you've been there and you've navigated through that. So what advice would you give to someone who is just really trying to help a dog and bring a different approach to the table without being critical and burning bridges and things
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, if their gut is telling them to do something, like stick with it. And I know it's hard. Like people are saying, no, don't do that. We've always done it this way. What you're saying is stupid or that's not right and all these kind of things. And it feels when everyone's against you, it's like easy to just throw in the towel and be like, okay, like, I guess I'll just go with the flow. But you need to ignore that. You need to ignore that and stick with it because the results that you get will be all the proof that you need. Like people are scared of the unknown. So if they haven't done that sort of thing before, they're not going to want to be the first people to do it. But if you do it and then you lead by example, you show the way, you get the results. And like you said, you don't burn the bridges, you just let your results do the talking. You will get people on side because if that training feels good to you and it feels good to the dogs, it's going to feel good to other people. They're just not ready to open up to it just yet. Like I said, lead by example. Don't let anyone dismiss you. Don't get all defensive and be like, I'm going to fuck you and all this kind of stuff. I'm not, all right, whatever. Don't burn those bridges. Just let your results do the talking. Like, just shrug it off. They'd be like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, I get that, but I'm going to try it this way because why not? What have you got to lose? I'm going to try it this way, so just let me try it. You
Yeah.
do it, get the results, and then that is all that you will need. And then people will be like, oh, can I have a go at that too? Like, can I try
That's
that?
just it.
Like,
When people see it, when they see it, they're going to have the realization of, I want what he has when they see those results. I love that. Letting the results speak for themselves, because you're right.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
All right, Toby, is there anything else you'd like the listeners to know about you or what you do? I think that when this episode comes out, you will probably be like within your first week of getting settled in Thailand.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the ability for people to work with you. And definitely, I want you to highlight the type of dogs that you really specialize in,
Hmm.
because I think that this is really important. And I think people all over the world have these dogs in their life and
Yeah.
are feeling really hopeless and isolated. And I really want them to be able to connect with you.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I was thinking, actually, is that I want people to know that if you have ex-free roaming dogs from whatever country, I work with people worldwide with dogs from all sorts of different places, not just Europe and Eastern Europe. I work with people with dogs from Korea and Thailand, and I will be working in situ in Thailand very soon. And I want people to know that wherever they are in the world, they can connect with me and I will know the struggles that they are going through. It is very isolating to have an ex-free roaming dog, a dog from overseas, a dog with PTSD, dog with major trauma, either the really shut down end of the spectrum all the way to the outright very reactive end of the spectrum. It's very isolating. People that you talk to will not understand. People that have got selectively bred dogs, had dogs, even dogs in their own country that they've adopted from rescues and things like that. They may not be able to relate to the same things that you are going through. Like, how do you explain to someone, my dog's scared of the kettle, my dog's scared of the microwave, my dog won't walk through a doorway, my dog, all these kind of things, and the things that you will find online, and they'll say, let's boost some confidence, let's go to a training class. What if your dog can't even get out of the car to
Right.
walk on the ground near the training class? What if your
Right.
dog has never touched a certain substrate before? It's very isolating, and it is quite unique. It is very unique, and I am here to tell you you're not alone. Like, whatever you've seen, I will have seen it in some way, shape, or form. And I just want you to connect with me, because we need to build more of a community for people that are working with free roaming dogs, because they are very special dogs. I adore them. I think they're absolutely amazing, but they do not come without their challenges. And all my clients will certainly agree. And I really want to get the word out there and get more people even trained up to work with free roaming dogs, because you can be like some of the best qualified trainers, but you've never encountered a foreign rescue dog before, you are going to struggle. Like, you need to be able to read them, learn about all their history, and just know that it takes a bit of a different approach. And things are weird. Like, I've had clients, like, they've been lying like statues on the floor, and their dogs have been eating like chicken off their eyelids, stuff like that. So yeah, we've done some like weird stuff, like where you just have to be really abstract, creative, and it works. It works. But yes, ex-free roaming dog parents, please, yeah, reach out to me, and I will be there for you in whatever you need from me. I will be there to support you.
What about trainers and professionals? Do you consult on cases with professionals if they're working with a former street dog?
Yes, I do, absolutely. And that ranges as well from not just trainers and consultants, but also other professionals in like dog
Great.
walking, grooming,
Yes. Yes.
veterinary. I've had lots of people that are a dog walk, especially in the UK, because I live in a very green place at the moment. And there are a lot of dogs coming over from Europe now. Dog walkers are sometimes an absolutely vital, essential part of the puzzle for these
Yep.
people. So I like to communicate with people. Reach out to me, I communicate with them, and they send me videos of the dogs that they walk, and I clarify things for them. So yeah, doesn't matter if you're a pet parent, a pet professional, reach out to me. I'm always happy to go over cases and compare different situations and just give you all the information that you need, really, because I don't like, definitely don't want to gatekeep anything. I want all the word to be out there when it comes to these dogs. They're so special. They mean a lot to me. They were my foot in the door into my dog training career, and I'm so grateful for them, and I appreciate them so much. And I really just want to, spread the word of how great they are and let people know all around the world, no matter what profession you're in, that there is help for you.
There's help and there's hope. I think that a
Yeah.
lot of people feel these dogs are not helpable, not changeable,
Mhm.
and that's just not true.
Not true. Not true. Not true at all. Recently, my clients, really special story. They have had their dog for, it'll be a year this month. And in the past 3 weeks, we've been working together for a few months, and all the stuff we've done over the previous months has all added together and compiled. And over the last like 3 weeks, they've been able to touch him, cuddle him. He's
I
so
saw that. I
affectionate.
was
You saw it?
sobbing. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful.
He's got a collar on for the first time, and now they're working on their lead training, and he's completely opened up. His barriers have all dropped, and it is so special. And that's with both parents as well, with mum and dad. He was a bit wary of dad before. Dad is getting all the cuddles in, and it's there is hope. It may not look like everybody else's time frame, but you shouldn't compare to everybody else. Comparison is the thief of joy. You're on your own journey, but there is definitely hope.
You can connect with Toby on Instagram at Craze Dog Training, and you can find more information and a link to his work in the show notes. Thanks for joining us in the world of Dog Training Bites, where every challenge brings a lesson worth sinking our teeth into. See you next time. Training Bytes was created, produced, and edited by Mattison Simpson. You can connect with me on Instagram at Dog Training Bytes, that's BYTES, and at Freed by Training. For information on today's guest and resources for help with your dog or dog training education, visit www.dogtrainingbytes.stream. Looking for more? Listen to my other show, Unpacked, a clinical dog training podcast co-hosted by Sailor Jerry the dog trainer and produced by Straight Up Dog Talk LLC.